Game time. What time is it? Game time. Woo. Do you know who used to say that?
Wildcats.
Wildcats.
High School Musical or something?
No, but that was filmed at East High, Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Chicago Bulls.
Go Bulls. So I do most of my investing on Robinhood, and they just introduced what they call as a prediction market. It's basically gambling.
Yeah.
And ever since they did that, I've been paying a lot more attention to sports.
You have?
Yeah.
But you can gamble on anything, right?
There's limited categories, but they're expanding very quickly.
Yeah. Because I saw one where do you know Clint Peterson?
No.
So he's a really good singles player, 5-0 plus singles player. But
Maybe I do.
He's been posting will Jerome Powell be fired?
Yeah.
And you can gamble yes or no, things like that. So crazy.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court.
We are making fun of my tan lines.
You got some gnarly tan lines, brother.
So I need to go tank tops, I guess.
Don't do that.
A little more white trash in my life.
Don't do that. Welcome
Fit in Virginia Beach
to another episode of King of the Court. We're your host, Tyler and
Jimmy Miller.
What hat is that?
Purple Rain.
For what?
Little team I coach, another little team I coach.
It almost looks like the Lakers.
It's
a knockoff
Ridge
version?
Rain.
Timu version of
REIGN. So get it? So this is a crown.
Gotcha.
Purple Rain. But also Purple Rain is a Prince song.
Okay.
But they're a Lehigh team and Lehigh's purple. It has a lot of things there, Tyler, okay?
Your favorite color is purple?
Yeah.
Purple or pink?
It actually doesn't. I actually like pink. It actually doesn't match what I'm wearing now that I'm looking at myself.
I don't think any of your outfits ever match.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
I match great, but we match today.
I don't know if you can call this matching.
I think that our shirts are very close.
They're very close, but they're not matching.
Almost match the wall. Look, can you see me? Nope.
All right. We've got a lot to talk about today, so let's get into it. But first, we got to give a big shout out to Picklr, which is the title sponsor of this podcast, King of the Court. They're running a 30 for 30, which is $30 for 30 days. If you are not a member, go check that out. It's only going on at certain locations.
Yeah.
So go to the Picklr to find out. If you do not have a membership, go to the Picklr to check it out to see if it's going on in your area. Yeah,
go check them out. You can try it out if you're trying to decide if you want to join. What better? Go spend 30.
One cool stat. So we were up at the Picklr last week, and one cool stat that they told me is the Picklr has more open locations than every single other franchise has combined open.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's impressive.
Yeah. They did not tell me a single stat when I was up there.
You would forget it.
I didn't hear one stat from the Picklr.
All right, so if you're interested in joining the Picklr, reach out to them at thepicklr.com, or if you're interested in starting your own franchise and being, on the flip side, being a business owner, reach out to them and tell them that the guys at KOTC sent you.
If you would like to become a statistic,
exactly,
call the Picklr.
Okay, also, we have a new sponsor
a new old sponsor?
A new old sponsor, a returning sponsor.
Returning back from the depths.
Jimmy, give us the lowdown on Stack Athletics.
Stack is back with their new spring collection, Tyler.
Spring, summer.
I don't know. It's spring to me.
It's SS, spring, summer.
Stack spring launch. Okay. So let me tell you a little story, Tyler. Okay. Story time. So first of all, stackathletics.com/KOTC. Mm-hmm. That's our affiliate link. Go get 20% off. But I don't know if you saw a couple tournaments ago. J-Dub in Georgia.
Mm-hmm. It was Dallas.
Was it Dallas?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yep.
They were wearing matching dress and shirt. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like that tie-dye. I don't even know if it's called tie-dye. What are you? Acid wash print?
Yeah, it was like white and black.
White and black print, and they were matching. That it was Stack Athletics.
Yeah, looked really good.
And they're not Stack athletes.
No. Should they be?
I mean, everybody should be. But they actually they bought that themselves and chose to wear it because they love Stack.
Yeah.
Because they know how good it looks. Gabe and Hayden rock Stack hoodies all the time. Daniel De La Rosa, Michael Lloyd, Walker Sisters. Everybody's rocking Stack these days. Well, now on Tuesday, tomorrow. Is that tomorrow?
Well, by the time this releases, it will be live.
Yes. So by the time you watch this, it'll be live. Stack Spring line is coming out. They actually have athletic pants. Do you ever wear pants?
In the wintertime.
So athletic pants, polos. Stack. This is not a Stack polo, but Stack is coming out with polos. I noticed a lot of pickleball players wear polos. Alshon's a polo guy.
It's getting classier.
Yeah, he's a polo guy. Riley's a polo guy. Pickleball players are wearing more polos.
I don't know if I've seen Riley in polos.
Riley wears polos sometimes.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, the guys with long necks need the collar. You don't want to look like a giraffe. Anyways, they got sage green. They're coming out. They're buttery soft. They look insane. Check them out. For the women, they've got the double strap dress. They got new sports bra, leopard sports bra.
Your favorite.
Love me a good leopard sports bra, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Anyways, Stack is bringing it. So check them out. StackAthletics.com. Again, by the time you watch this, their spring line will be out.
Maybe they'll be sold out.
Might be sold out. Code KOTC will get you 20% off. But you can also go through our affiliate link, StackAthletics.com/KOTC. Yeah. So check them out.
Awesome. Yeah. So they have incredible styles and colors that I'm excited to see.
And they're
out there
also
on
the official uniform sponsor of the California Black Bears and the Atlanta Bouncers.
All right. Awesome. Also, just a heads up, KOTC has a discount code for all MLP and also PPA events.
Yes.
So if you're interested in spectating and you're buying those tickets, make sure to use our code. It supports us and gets you the best price possible.
Yes.
All right.
As
Jimmy,
well as Pickleball Central.
As well as Pickleball
link.
Central, you have to click into the direct link in the description below, but that will automatically apply to your Pickleball Central order. Some of the items do not have a discount, but if they do, it will automatically apply. Jimmy,
yes.
Big week this week. It feels like, well, we have been off for months. This is the first Major League Pickleball event for 2025, and it is in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? What are the headlines? It's going to be in Florida. It's going to be probably pretty hot, humid. There were rumors at one point that it would be on rollout courts. However, it will be on permanent
courts.
Yep.
They're going to do painted lines. That's huge. The big news this weekend in MLP is that we had a little bit of a interesting name swap.
Interesting. I wish I would have known about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first we've heard of it. We honestly had zero idea about this at all. I mean, it was very, very well.
How much money would you put on like swapping names or something like that? If you had to swap names, like 100,000?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine if this information got out, it could have cost $100,000 or so.
Something like that.
So the Brooklyn Aces have now moved locations, and they are now the D.C. Pickleball Club.
Just a little casual swap.
Yeah, the D.C. Pickleball Club has now moved locations, and they're now the Brooklyn Pickleball Club. They're not the Aces anymore, by the way.
Okay.
So Brooklyn is now in Premier. So Brooklyn will consist of Riley Newman, the aforementioned Riley Newman.
Okay.
Jackie Kawamoto, Rachel Rohrabacher, Deckel Barr, Hannah Blatt, and I don't even know who their other dude is. Oh, Pat Smith. Pat, Tag Team Smith. And then the DC Pickleball Club, which is now a challenger team, will be Andrea Coop. And I don't even know who else is on that. Oh, Daniel De La Rosa.
You're really doing your research here.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Daniel De La Rosa.
Is it still Pablo?
Pablo got traded to Vegas.
Okay.
Anyways, so they've switched. Okay. Brooklyn, formerly DC. This is so confusing. And honestly,
you're confusing me right now.
I'm not sure I've ever seen this happen before.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Has this ever happened in any other?
I can't imagine. I can't think of a scenario where two teams just decided to swap locations. Like, obviously teams have moved to different locations, but not sure I've ever seen two teams swap. Now look,
what does that mean? Like, do they inherit any of their personnel, the employees?
They don't inherit any personnel. They literally just swap their names. Now look, there has been things where, for example, I'll just give an example here, where the Los Angeles Rams, they moved to St. Louis and became the St. Louis Rams. And then when Los Angeles was vacant, the San Diego Chargers moved up to Los Angeles. And
but just doing a full-on swap.
But a full swap. And then the Rams moved back to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But doing a full-on swap is interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen that. They really wanted to keep this, make it a big deal, keep it quiet. I think it's interesting that it was launched like 2 days before MLP.
I think
graphics were out, schedules were out, uniforms were printed. So that's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
I wonder how Lotto feels, because Lotto bought into the Brooklyn Aces.
Yeah, so are they now with D.C.?
D.C.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Did Lotto buy into Brooklyn because, like, was there an appeal to buying into them because they were in Brooklyn? Or was the appeal because Pablo was there? Now he's not there either. So that's another interesting.
So either way.
Yeah, Brooklyn went 0 for 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another interesting thing. Anyways, they switched. I will say this. I thought DC had the worst uniforms in all of pickleball. The gold and the black.
Yeah,
I know that they had to put a sponsor on it, but they were hideous. These new DC, like the new line that they just
the new
put
DC
out,
or the old DC?
the old DC, which is now Brooklyn.
Okay.
Brooklyn, it's new attire. They
Is
just
bad
signed a
as
deal.
well, or is
No. It's sick. They just signed a deal with Wilson.
Gotcha.
It's pretty freaking sick. Like, go check it out. I looked at it today. It's
What colors are they?
black and white still.
Nice.
But it's very clean, classic. They still got the bridge, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. So anyways, when you tune into MLP Orlando and you see the Brooklyn Pickleball Club, that is the former DC team.
Gotcha.
So
also, news with Major League Pickleball, they have been announcing new sponsors almost left and right. And so they have DoorDash. And that's a really big sponsor. This is the biggest sponsor that MLP has ever gotten.
Yeah.
Who else do they have? They have a couple others.
They have Torre, which is a huge tennis sponsor, I guess. It's a company from Asia that does like manufacturing or something. I don't know what they do. Zip Fizz.
Yep.
So true story, Tyler. If you go to Costco,
if you don't say true story, is it fake?
it means it's not real. Yeah. Okay. If you go to Costco, do you have a Costco membership?
Executive, yes.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
That's because you have American Express. Oh no, they're Visa now.
They're Visa, yeah.
Anyways, Costco. Whenever I go to Costco, I always got to get 2 samples. Right? If they're sampling certain things, but they're always sampling Zip Fizz. Always.
Gotcha.
And they put it in like a little shot glass, like this big. And I always take a couple and I hit that shot glass every single time. So, new MLP. I can't wait to be at an MLP event. My team, maybe my team's like a little bit, down. Maybe they're struggling a little bit. And I'm like, hey guys, hit this Zip Fizz real quick.
Zip them up,
make a run. So,
okay. All right. So let's get into the matchups. It starts this Wednesday when this, it starts Thursday. My apologies. So a day after this pod releases, matches will begin. I am with the Utah Black Diamonds, and we actually do not play until Friday. We have the first day off.
That's nice.
Yeah. So
does that make you excited?
Yeah, it's nice. Just kind of get a little bit of warm-up time, see some of the matches, and get acclimated.
Yeah, so April 24th, day 1. I think let's just pick 1 or 2 matchups from each day. I mean, there's so many matches.
Yep.
So day 1, I would say the biggest matchup of day 1.
Real quick, I think a lot of people have put a lot of emphasis on MLP this year, and I think there's a lot riding on it. If MLP, in my opinion, is not successful, then it'll be interesting to see the future of MLP. But on the flip side, if MLP is successful, then I think it's going to explode in terms of popularity, sponsors, prize money, everything. So
love it.
Just had to put that out there.
I think so too.
So I think there's a lot riding on the season is what I'm getting at.
I agree. This is big. This is kind of, I want to say it's kind of a make or break season for MLP.
Yeah.
I don't think but this is big because it is condensed to an actual season. There's only 2 or 3 events between now and August for PPA. So we're all in on MLP right now.
Yep. Whether you like it or not,
yeah,
MLP is here.
So here we go. Day 1.
April 24th.
Brooklyn Pickleball team versus the Texas Ranchers. The new Brooklyn pickleball team taking on the Texas Ranchers. This is big. So the Ranchers spent $200,000 allegedly and Noe Cliff to bring in Eric Onsens. Now they bring in Eric Onsens, and he plays against his teammate, who is Christian Alshon, in a PPA event, and they literally end up, he gets flipped off, and they end up arguing. So will those two be able to come together on the same team? They do live near each other. I know they played golf together, so I assume that it was just a heat of the moment situation. The Ranchers have Onsens, they have Christian, they have Tina Pisnik, and they have Etta Wright. Solid team. Do you think Christian plays with Tina or Etta?
So I played with Etta last week, and I don't think anything is set in stone, but I would imagine she plays with Alshon.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, that's what they did last year.
That would be the number one. I would assume that that's their number one. Brooklyn.
Oh, we also forgot to mention this year they're doing traditional scoring. To 11. One game to 11.
One game to 11. And here's the thing. I went back and I was looking at some PPAs. And, I mean, Ben Johns and Annalie Waters have lost
multiple games.
Just one game. One game to 11, yeah. So it's possible that we might see, some interesting upsets here.
Yeah.
So Brooklyn, this is where it gets interesting. So Brooklyn has Deckel Barr, Riley Newman, Jackie Kawamoto, and Rachel. I was thinking who their fourth was, and Rachel Rohrbacher. So Deckel and Rachel will play together.
Okay.
They've played PPAs together this year. They have not had a lot of success. In fact, they've had their first round losses. Riley and Jackie have played together. They played together last year quite a bit. They've been on the same MLP team together with DC actually. And they had some success in PPAs. And then Jackie and Rachel, I think, is a solid women's team. I would say that Etta and Tina is also a very solid team.
Yeah.
So give us some predictions. So I would say Deckel and Rachel. Do you think Deckel and Rachel they're number one? Do you send out Deckel and Rachel or Riley and Jackie to face Christian and?
I think they'd be their number one right now. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So let's start with men's.
Okay.
Do we go Riley and Deckel or do we go Christian and Onsens?
Wait, what's the question?
Riley versus Deckel. Riley and Deckel versus Christian Alshon and Eric Onsens.
Who wins that?
Yeah.
It's one game to 11.
Yeah.
I'll say Brooklyn.
Okay.
Deckel and Riley.
Okay. I think that
I'll preface this by saying I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I would give the edge to Deckel and Riley.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think it's probably very close to a pick 'em. I mean, Eric Onsens has not played on the big stage.
Literally like 52 to 48 or 54, 46 percentage.
Yep, I agree. All right, women's. Jackie and Rachel versus Etta and Tina.
I would go Etta and Tina.
So I feel like, again, this is very close.
Yeah.
It could go either way. I think Rachel's going to have something to prove. I think Rachel's going to come out saying, she should be pretty fired up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that I actually think that the Ranchers win the men's and Brooklyn wins the women's.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay, first mix, Deckel and Rachel versus Christian and Etta.
You would think Christian and Etta?
I would think that too, yeah. Yep. So I think we go into the last matchup, 2-1 Texas. And we have Jackie and Riley versus Eric Onsens and Tina.
Who do you have?
I think Jackie and Riley get that, but I could go either way.
I would think so too, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 2-2, Dreambreaker. Who's the better Dreambreaker team? So here's the interesting thing about this. Okay, I think Deckel is a decent, solid singles player.
Ranchers.
But I think Christian's the best singles player.
I take that back. Brooklyn.
This is close, right? Because I think Christian is by far the best singles player on the court.
Yep.
I mean, it's not even close. But I think 2 and 3 are probably Deckel and Riley. Well, Eric's not bad.
Eric and Alshon are good.
Yeah.
They're good. But
they're good.
Etta and Tina, they don't do singles.
But neither does Jackie.
Yeah, but I would take Jackie over them.
I would too. Also, I think it was Eric Tice, our boy E. Tice, posted a stat last year. Maybe it was Real Clear Stats, but Jackie was actually number one in women in singles in the 4 spot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, while she's not a singles player, being number one playing your role and being number one is pretty impressive. So, yeah, I think that Brooklyn will have to make up some ground with their women because I think Rachel's the best female singles player.
Okay.
Out of those 4.
Okay.
Don't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I'm going to say...
All right, so who do you have coming out on top?
I'm going to say Brooklyn wins the Dreambreaker 21-19.
All right. One thing also to know is this is Premier, and so this is the top 24 players or so. And so most matches should be competitive.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Well,
every single match, you're playing against the top 10, top 15 players in each matchup.
They should, but like our very first match of the day is SoCal versus Miami. And both of those teams have been almost completely, like Miami tried to rebuild, but...
I mean, both those teams came up from Challenger, though.
Yeah. But then you have Bouncers and Hustlers. I mean... Hustlers, who knows what's going to happen with them?
Well, did you see the tweet James Ignatowicz deleted about increasing exposure, eyeballs?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Yeah, he said, if you want to increase exposure, just send out the Hustlers women.
Well,
yeah,
I think they want more exposure, so hopefully it works.
I think that James Ignatowicz is going to get busted for indecent exposure at some point because the horny alert went off there. Calm down, bud. All right.
So who wins that one? Hustlers or Bouncers?
I mean, honestly, nobody wins, and not even people watching win.
Well, somebody's got to win.
That's where you go get lunch. The Bouncers win that one. They win it pretty easy.
Okay.
But it is Jaume versus Zane Ford.
Yeah.
I mean...
A lot of people don't also know this, but MLP released a schedule, and then as soon as all these players got dropped, players switch it up, guess what MLP does? They switch up the schedule.
I thought it was smart. I thought it was really smart. Yep.
Genius.
I agree. The other matchup I'm really pumped about on Thursday is the Fives versus the Sliders. Okay. Sliders are very good. I mean, they have Daescu, they have CJ Klinger.
I think they're a top 5 team.
Yeah. They have Leia and they have Paris Todd.
Yeah.
That's a really good team.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Fives have Annalie, they have Zane, they have Will Howells, and then they have Megan DeZon.
So the Fives released a picture. And they had 3 girls, 3 of their women, and then only 2 of the guys.
Yeah, Craig Johnson didn't get the invite.
How does he feel?
I don't know, but I love Craig Johnson.
I know, Craig's the best.
Great guy. Yeah. But I wonder if it's because like Megan DeZon and Krista Getcheva are together right now, hanging out quite a bit. Vegans Unite. I wonder if Krista lives in Florida, so maybe it just makes sense for her to be around the team where Craig, it's like he's in Arizona.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And the thing is a lot of teams, we were told that there's teams aren't going to travel their whole rosters, which again, to me, ruins the whole point of having 5 and 6. You already are allowing 5 and 6 to get stolen, which is a topic that we've already discussed ad nauseum. Ooh, big word for me.
Yeah.
But now teams aren't even traveling 5 and 6. Some teams, it's like, what's the point? I think that the way they could have combated that to fix that, if the whole idea was to showcase the best players. That's why you went to why 5 and 6 were allowed to be stolen. You should have drafted your top 4 for Premier, had Challenger draft
and then pick up,
and then have Premier pick up their 5 and 6 after that. Yeah. But again, instead, I mean, like Angie Walker told me that for the mat drop, she's not even traveling.
So I was playing this morning.
Yeah.
And I've been having issues with my back. In midpoint, I'm not joking, it just seized up, like locked up, and I like dropped my paddle and I couldn't move at all. And I was playing with Connor Garnett and Elise, who are also on the Utah Black Diamonds. Yeah. And I went down for about 2-3 minutes, and they said, "Do we need to call Yates, which is our sub? Yeah. But he's not traveling." Yeah. And so if I or anyone gets injured at the MLP event, they're going to have to pick up an on-site sub.
Which an on-site sub is not
on the team. Exactly.
It's not on. It's someone that was undrafted. So we're going way down the list now. So I feel like Yates should be there. Yeah. Especially if you know firsthand, like early, that you're back.
Yeah, I should be fine. 100. Knock on wood. Freaking back, man. What do you do to loosen up your back?
Dude, do you have foam roller?
I've been doing that.
Stretch it out, foam roller. Have you done like any of the? You go to Chiller. Yeah. Shout out Chiller, Sid.
I need to go there more.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, we got to give a big shout out to our next sponsor, which is C&D Pickleball Nets.
C&D.
We love them. They just released about a month ago a new, more economical net. It's called the Challenger Net. It retails at $15.99. It's the same quality, very high quality, but much more economical. And it's also a little bit more agile. It's a little bit more lightweight. And so you can move it around. You can use it at your house, your church, your gym, wherever it might be. But I promise you, these are the best pickleball nets available. Go check them out at bestpickleballnets.com and use code KOTC for the best price possible.
Is that the APP official?
Yes,
net?
they are with the APP. They do a lot of exhibition matches. They're
everywhere.
They're all around. Really good people, really good guys, really good quality. And yeah, I promise you, they're the best pickleball nets out there. If you own a facility, if you have multiple courts, reach out to them. They do special pricing when you order multiple nets at a time.
Yes, check them out. Troy and Tyler are the best. Two of the nicest dudes you'll ever meet.
Yeah, springtime is here, warmer weathers, and it just seems like more and more
time
people.
to get that court done, right?
Exactly. Yep. All right, continuing. Did you want to talk about the fives versus the sliders? So you mentioned them very briefly.
Yeah, so I think that's another good matchup. Probably, the second best matchup of the day. Again, if you try to, break it down match by match, because that's kind of how anything can go in MLP. But I think that if you look at the fives, so Zane and Will Howells. Mm-hmm. They finished 12-11 last year as a men's team. Okay, so they just barely above 500. Mm-hmm. Will Howells made a statement recently where he said he was 46-1 in his last 47 matches that were not MLP. Mm-hmm. I believe his one loss was I think it was in singles to Hayworth maybe.
Okay.
But he said he's 46-1. Should that matter much because he's playing on the APP tour?
To me, I'm surprised you're the one asking this question, but I would say it matters for sure. But according to you, you like to say a win is a win.
There is no such thing as a bad win. I agree with that. However, but my point is going 46-1 on APP is not the same as going 46-1 in PPA.
Totally. Yep.
I mean, what's the equivalent to that? I mean, if you went.
I mean, this is more focused on MLP, but me and you and a lot of other people have had a Will Howells debate.
Yeah.
I mean, he thinks he's a top 5 player, top 10 or whatever, and he might be. But I've always said he needs to prove it on the PPA side. And if you look at his history in the PPA side,
it's limited, but he has not done it yet.
He hasn't had the results to.
Granted, a couple times he's played with Johnny Goldberg and.
Yeah, but he's played with other people too.
Yeah.
He's played with Jack Monroe, I think.
Yeah.
Just other people. But, I think it matters the quality that you're playing with.
Yeah, I agree. And look, again, I don't, he's playing with Zane. If he's truly a top 5 player, him and Zane should have better results than 12-11. Mm-hmm. I think we'll find out really quickly. I mean, right away, they get Andre Deskew and CJ Klinger. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be a top 5 player, you got to be top 5 teams, and that's a top 5 team.
Yeah. I think MLP with the traditional scoring is getting a little bit more similar to PPA. However, It is just one game.
It is still one game.
As you mentioned before, Ben Johns and Anna Lee, they've lost multiple one games.
Yeah, I agree. So that'll be interesting. The fives do also still have Anna Lee. She and Will Howells went, I think, something like 21-2 last year, some ridiculous number.
All right. Men's, who's winning that? New Jersey's versus Columbus.
I'd say Deskew and CJ for sure.
Okay, women's, who you got?
It's really hard to bet against AL.
Okay, so you're going with AL?
Yeah.
I'd go sliders that one.
Leia and Paris over AL and Megan.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I don't think it's like that crazy of a take. I think that's a good team.
I have Columbus
winning. Who's playing the left, Leia or Paris? Because they both play.
Leia.
They both kind of play right side. I think Leia has disgusting power with her overhead.
Yeah. I have Columbus winning 3-1 or 3-2.
Really? Just blowing them out. Well, 3-2 would be a Dreambreaker.
Yeah, that would be a Dreambreaker.
But you think Columbus just blows them out?
Yeah.
So that means AL loses in women's and maybe wins
just women's.
She'll
win mixed.
Wins her mix.
Yeah, she wins mixed.
She beats Deescu and Leah, or Deescu and Paris. That's tough too.
Who knows?
I mean, AL and Howells. I actually think that AL and Howells versus, we'll say Deescu and Leah, because they've played together before. Actually, I'm going to say Deescu and Paris because.
Well, the other interesting thing is,
CJ and Leah have played.
I mean, AL is their number one, but they used to send her out as their number two to almost guarantee a win.
Yeah.
Does she start playing at the one slot, playing against their top team, or does she guarantee that win?
But that's what I'm saying. I think that against Columbus, it's probably a pick 'em either way. I think CJ and Leah is just as tough as AL and Will.
Did you hear the new rule that if you win the toss, you can decide whether it's traditional scoring or rally scoring?
No, stop.
I'm serious.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, nobody would put that past MLP, but
they're implementing it for Orlando.
But you're going to confuse people by saying that, because people are going to actually get on Reddit and they're going to be like, "Did you hear what Tyler said?"
I'm serious.
This is like your Rachel rumor.
Well,
and I'm
surprised you haven't.
And she had cancer, and you probably feel like a dick now for starting that
you
rumor.
You were the one that
I didn't start any rumor. I didn't say a word.
I
hope
shocked
you feel bad.
You still haven't announced it.
I think you should feel bad, to be honest with you. If I were you, I'd feel bad.
Have you no conscience?
I didn't even know anything about it. I'm glad she's.
No, it's just the timing aligned perfectly with when your rumor started.
I never said a word.
Your rumors aligned perfectly.
Zero. Never said a word. I'm glad she's healthy. All right. So you say Columbus. I actually think Columbus wins that too, just to be fair.
What, 3-2 or 3-1?
I think
it has to be 3-1 according to you, because you don't think Fives will lose in Dreambreaker, right?
You don't think that? I think that Columbus is just as good.
Okay, so you think they'll win in Dreambreaker or 3-1?
I think Andre is a very good singles player. I think CJ is very underrated in singles. I think that Leah and Paris combined are better than AL and Megan combined. Because AL, yes, is the best player, but
AL's going to go 3-1 or 4-0
against Paris or Leah. I don't think so, dude. Even if she goes 3-1, then I think Paris. So say she goes 3-1 against Leah, then Paris is going 3-1 or 4-0 against Megan.
Okay, moving on.
So they counter each other.
All right, this is a fun one. April 25th at 10 a.m. MDT time. Columbus Sliders versus Dallas Flash, who are the reigning champions.
Defending champs. Dallas Flash. How come you guys are on freaking grandstand every match? Nobody wants to watch Utah. Huh?
Nobody wants to watch Utah.
All right. Columbus versus Dallas. Again, we're kind of in that same matchup. J-Dub and Augie.
Okay.
Taking on Andre Deescu and CJ Klinger. Lefty.
Okay.
I actually give that one to Deescu and Klinger.
Sliders they might be a top 3 team.
They are sneaky good, Tyler.
Well, I don't know about sneaky. I think they're just good.
Well, I just think I say sneaky because they've revamped their entire squad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would give that one to Deescu and CJ.
Okay.
All right. Women, Georgia and Tyra versus Paris and Leah. Again, it's close.
I'm putting all my money on Leah and Paris.
I'm going to say Georgia and Tyra pull that one out.
Okay.
But mixed, J-Dub and Georgia against Andre and we'll say Paris.
I would take J-Dub and Georgia.
I probably would too. But then I think I'd take Leah and CJ over Augie and Tyra.
Yes. Yeah.
So now we're 2-2. We go to Dreambreaker. Who's the better Dreambreaker team?
Wow, that's close.
I think
I would say Sliders.
I think Sliders are too. I think CJ is better than Augie. Wow. And that's the difference.
That is a very close matchup.
I also think Leah and Paris.
I think that's closer than the Sliders versus Fives, to be honest.
Well, and I think Paris and Leah are better than Georgia and Tyra in singles. Like, overall. But yeah, it's tough. It's going to be good. And then, so same day, right after that, we've got the Fives versus Brooklyn.
Well, let's talk about mine just because I'm here. Normally we wouldn't be talking about it.
Let's talk about the Tyler.loong.
You can't skip over me.
We're not. We're going to go Tyler.loong
versus Miami Pickleball Club.
Miami Pickleball Club.
Which is Jay DeVilliers, Noe Cliff,
Millie Rain,
and then the Maya Bowie.
Yep. Or Ava Ignatowicz. Who knows who they're going to play?
Yep.
Now they should play Maya. Also Yuta Funamizu, the Japanese soft tennis player.
Nice.
All right. So you and Connor taking on Jay and Noe. Men's.
Okay.
I think you and Connor have the advantage there.
I would think we're
unless
favored.
Jay and Noe start talking French, then you might be in
taking
trouble.
off the shirt, just
speaking in French to each other. Yeah.
Okay, that's putting a lot of pressure on me. I hope.
Yeah, but I would say that you guys win men's. All
Okay.
right, women's. Are you playing Jeannie or Mevish?
I think it's TBD. I think they will most likely play Genie, but I don't know if there's like a tryout or they're going to wait till practice and see how it goes.
To decide?
Yeah.
All right. So Elise is the best female out of the four either way.
Okay.
I think Millie is the second best. But I will say this. I've watched Maya Bowie. I watched her play some rec games. And then I watched her at Red Rock. Mm-hmm. She's very, very good. She has a insanely high ceiling. Okay. I think she's going to be really, really good. She doesn't do a ton at the kitchen line yet. She's got to kind of learn to attack at the kitchen, when to attack. She hits the ball.
Have you
really
hit the
hard.
new carbon that Elise is using?
The True Foam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it have a lot of power?
It does at the beginning, and then it gets weird.
She's hitting the ball very hard for her stature.
Well, have you seen her? She's freaking jacked.
But she's not known for hitting the ball hard.
I know, but
I've known her for 5+ years, and she is not known for that. And she's getting a lot of pace with that carbon paddle.
Yeah, I mean,
either she's weighting it very heavy, or the paddle just has a lot of power.
Or maybe she's just working out.
I'm working out. I can't hit it that hard.
She's more jacked than you.
I don't think so.
I bet she benches more than you.
Not a chance.
You don't think?
No.
I bet if you did
not a chance.
A correlation, bench press correlation based off of body weight.
Well, then, yeah, I can bench more than you. I can bench more than a lot of people if you do it that way.
I bet she benches more than you.
No.
Based off of that.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
She's jacked.
She is jacked. Well, she's also very small, so bench pressing going up 3 inches is not that difficult.
Well, that's why I said we do.
That's why all the short people can do a ton of weight, because they go up a foot. And
well, I mean,
me, I got monkey arms over here.
Are you already making excuses?
No.
All right, women's.
Okay.
It's tough. It's tough to pick women's because you don't know who's gonna play. I think right now, I would say it's probably a pick'em.
What is a pick'em?
Pick'em just means it's 50-50.
Why don't you just say 50-50?
Because I thought you were a gambler now.
Pick'em? I've never heard of that.
It's because you're not a gambler and you don't watch sports. That's why.
Basketball I watch.
So we'll say, I'm gonna say Miami wins.
In the pick'em?
In the pick'em.
Okay.
Women's. All right. Mixed. Are you playing with Elise or are you playing with?
As of now, everything is up in the air. But
do you guys have a coach, a GM? Like, who is running this squad?
It is literally everyone that works at PPA. They are considered part of the family. And so
I understand that. But the problem is those guys are great at running events. They're not great at evaluating talent. Should we get Chris Patrick to run it?
He's already got a couple teams he's running.
I mean, like, what is happening here? Who's calling the shots?
It's a combination. It's a large collection.
You guys, you play in 2 days.
We're flying in the morning of.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Do you ever remember when BYU did that against Nevada?
I don't remember that.
They decided to fly in the morning of a game because it was just in Reno and it was like a 45-minute flight.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, we're going to fly
for basketball or football?
For football.
Uh-huh.
And they got blasted. And they were like, we'll never fly in the morning of it.
So I think there's some players. So I actually have done that even fairly recently, flown in the morning of. Yeah. But there's other players that I know they need to be there for a day or more to get acclimated, everything like that. But I feel like I can't actually fly in and play my normal game. There's
players there's players already right now that are in Orlando or in, that are, the ranchers are having full on practices.
Yeah.
Nobody is invested as the ranchers right now. You don't even know who's on your team. And the ranchers are a week and a half into practice in Florida.
They got each other's social security numbers memorized.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So it's hard to predict who's going to win this because we don't know. Because is Jay playing with Millie? Is Noe playing with Millie?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup. I think you guys do have the advantage in singles. I'll give you that.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
All right. Fives versus Brooklyn.
Fives won that. Wait. Oh, it's the
new Brooklyn.
Wait, didn't we talk about? No, that was sliders. Oh,
sliders. Yeah.
I would. Who do you have?
Again, it's tough.
I'd go 5s.
I think that I think this one's really tough.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brooklyn won, but
yeah,
I'm changing it. I'm going Brooklyn. I'm going anti-5s. Everything
anti-5s. All right, we'll go with that.
Okay.
All right.
Who do you have?
I'm going to say Brooklyn wins that.
Okay. So you have 5s 0-2.
I do.
I
do. And they made the championship, so they're obviously going to prove me wrong.
Okay.
And they're better. I think that they got better. I think Mari's good, but they got better.
We're still on April 25th. We got Carolina
Hogs.
I want you to snort.
No, the Hogs. Stupidest name ever in pickleball history.
Okay.
And an even worse logo. All right, Ben Johns.
What Ben do we see?
I mean, that's the question, right? Like, do we see a motivated Ben? Do we see a Ben? I mean, look, that's just all he has for the next 3 months. So ideally, you would see a motivated Ben. Mm-hmm. We haven't really seen or heard from Colin in a while because a lot of first-round exits for that guy without baby bro carrying him. I mean, his duper's rapidly dropping. His spot in the race, if the race were to end today, Colin Johns is nowhere to be found.
He has a lot of points.
No, not the race. He has 1 win at the beginning of the year. That's it. By the end of the year, Colin Johns is not going to be in the top 16 in men's.
You don't think? I had this debate with somebody else, and they said he has so many points.
He has points for ranking, but not for race. For ranking, yes.
Okay.
But the race is different, obviously, because it resets. But yes, for ranking, unfortunately for ranking, he's going to hang around for a long time. Mm-hmm. All right. And then they have Caitlin Christian. Now, do they play Tammy Emmerich or do they play Liz Trulock? Tammy's better.
You would think Tammy.
I think Tammy's better.
On paper, it would probably be Tammy. We can call Caitlin Kerr and ask her, see what she thinks.
Yeah. Tammy, I think Tammy is the better player.
Who would Caitlin say is the better player?
Herself.
That's fair.
So who gets to play with Ben? I mean, do you, this is my thought, okay? I think you take Ben, obviously Ben and Colin, and you expect them to win, okay, in men's. Mm-hmm. And then you put Ben with Caitlin Christian.
Okay.
And then you expect to win that, and then you push to a Dreambreaker. And you know that you're going to win your 2 with Ben, and then you got to win your Dreambreaker. Now, I do think Ben Johns and Caitlin Christian in a Dreambreaker is pretty freaking good.
It is, but it's only 4 points, and you look at their other 2 players, it kind of balances stuff out.
I agree, but you have been the one for a long time that said Colin is a good Dreambreaker player.
He's not bad, exactly.
Even though he lost to Leia twice last year.
Yeah, I mean...
So
fun stat. So last year in one of the Dreambreakers, Connor Garnett, I'm not joking, he went, I think, around 90%.
Yeah, I remember that.
Singles point. He won 10 out of 12 points or something like that. Crazy. And we still ended up losing.
Yeah.
So even if Ben Johns were to go 100%, it's possible that they still lose.
Just to be clear, we were up. The Bears were up 20-9. We were up 18-4 and 20-9 in a Dreambreaker last year and lost.
With Hayworth?
It was Virginia Beach. So
was that pre-Hayworth or?
No, it was with Hayworth.
With Hayworth.
Yeah. Hayworth had to play a Jaume.
Gotcha.
And he beat him 4-0 the first. I think he went 4-0 the first time. I think he actually went 3-1 the second, and then the third time Jaume went 4-0.
Gotcha.
All right, so Daescu and CJ versus Ben.
So who do you have winning that?
Well, I think Daescu and CJ versus Ben and Colin is very close.
I wouldn't be surprised if CJ and Daescu win in game to 11.
I wouldn't either.
Also, another prediction. We're all over this place. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this year they either switch to rally scoring or change to games to 15.
Yeah, I can see that.
Traditional.
Yeah, I
games
can see
to 11,
that.
in my opinion, are a bit too short.
Yeah, I could see that one game till. I mean, these matches are going to be over. Some of them could be over in 40 minutes total.
Total, yes.
Start to finish.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if they're doing the thing this year where you have to play the 4th match even though you're down 3-0. They did that for tie-breaking purposes. Mm-hmm. If they're doing that, then maybe that'll extend things a little longer. If they're not, some of these are going to be over quick.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say that Carolina wins men's. I'm going to say Ben wins mixed. His mixed. We're going to go to a Dreambreaker. And I think we get a motivated Ben Johns, and they beat the Sliders.
Okay, love to see it.
All right, moving on.
For the record, I have Sliders.
All right, Orlando Squeeze. I like this matchup versus the Phoenix Flames.
Okay.
So Phoenix has Tyson. They have Jack Sock. Mm-hmm. They have Jesse Irvin.
Big names.
They have Jeannie Bouchard, my third best friend that she doesn't know it yet. Squeezies made a big trade. Went and got Dylan Frazier.
Okay.
Traded Tyson, actually, for Dylan Frazier. So they have Fed. They have Dylan Frazier. They have Lacey Schneeman. And then they have Samantha Parker.
Okay.
I think Samantha Parker's got a lot of pressure on her. I think that's going to be...
Wait, sorry. Say the women again on Squeeze.
The Squeeze women are Samantha Parker.
Okay.
Lacey Schneeman.
Okay.
And they also have Allie Phillips.
Okay.
Now, do you play Samantha Parker or Allie Phillips?
As of right now, I think on paper, you'd have to go with Samantha.
Okay. I think it's very close.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw their exhibition against the Mad Drops.
I did not.
They did an exhibition in South Carolina, and Allie Phillips...
Played well?
She played well, but she also played like she was out to prove something, that she deserves to be in that starting lineup. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I did hear from somebody that Fed pushed for Allie Phillips. So we'll see. All right, so they take on Phoenix. Okay. I think that men's, Jack and Tyson, 1 game to 11, you never know.
What are the chances they change the format mid-tournament?
I feel like
honestly, the more I think about it, I think these games are going to go so quick, like 10 to 15 minutes.
Dude, 1 game to 11 feels very fast. I agree. I think 1 game to 15 or back to rally scoring.
Mm-hmm. I think 1 game to 15, if they want to do the traditional scoring, is the way to go. Yeah,
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right. So I like the Squeeze men.
Okay.
In that. Women's, I think women's is going to be close. I think Jesse and Jeannie probably have a slight edge over the Squeeze women.
I would think so as well.
So I'm going to say the Flames women win that. Mixed, I think Fed and Lacey probably going to play together.
Okay.
Would be my guess. I think Fed and Lacey would beat whoever Phoenix throws out there. And then the second mixed match could be interesting because Dylan's a great player, but he's not a great mixed player.
I think he's better than he might get credit for.
But he's going to have to play with Samantha Parker or Allie Phillips against probably Jack Sock and Jeannie Bouchard.
It's possible.
I think that Jack and Jeannie could win that. I think Dylan could win that.
Pick them.
Here's the thing. The one thing with Phoenix, the one thing that you don't want to do with Phoenix is go to Dreambreaker.
Yeah.
Because Jack, Tyson, and Jeannie are pretty good.
But Fed and Dylan are not bad either.
Fed and Dylan are no joke. And Samantha Parker's very good singles player as well. And Lacey's actually a very good singles player.
Okay.
So anyways, I think the Squeeze win it, but I think Phoenix makes it entertaining.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Let's go on to Dallas Flash Pickleball and versus the Carolina Hogs. But real quick, we got to give a big shout out to our next sponsor, which is Vulcan Pickleball, the V Pro Flight. This is the official ball of the PPA and also MLP Tour. This is the ball that the players use in all the tournaments. If you want to use the ball that the pros are using and the amateurs in these tournaments, go check them out at vulcansportinggoods.com and use code KOTC for the best price possible. These balls are playing very good right now because it's not too hot, but it's also
perfect.
It's perfect.
Perfect weather, perfect balls, perfect temperature.
They last forever.
Yeah.
And they don't get too soft, so they're not soft, and then they're not breaking.
I miss him in MLP.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's an MLP. I think he's literally makes MLP more fun.
Thank you, Vulcan, for the sports, and back to the show. All right. Flash versus Hogs.
By the way, when it does get hot and it gets sweaty and it gets disgusting, I love that freaking Vulcan chalk.
Yes,
the powder.
They make this powder that I use and
it's incredible
in humid conditions, hot conditions.
So you can buy that with our code too, by the way. All right, here we go. Where are we going?
Hogs versus Flash.
Hogs versus Flash. Flash the hog. Here we go.
Flash the hog.
J-Dub. I think J-Dub and Augie against Ben and Colin will be fun, but I think Ben and Colin win that.
Okay, I would say the same.
Tyra and Georgia against Tammy and Caitlin Christian. I'm going to say Tyra and Georgia.
Yep.
I'm going to say, now this is where it gets interesting. Do you throw J-Dub and Georgia out against Ben and Caitlin Christian, or do you throw out Tyra and Augie knowing that J-Dub and Georgia can go and beat whoever Colin Johns is with?
I would say the first one. Throw I think the better team should play.
I think so too. And I also think Tyra and Augie have an advantage.
Yes.
Still have an advantage over Colin. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, J-Dub and Georgia, I think will beat Ben and Caitlin Christian. And then I think that Tyra and Augie win it. Flash win 3-1.
Do you like that the teams can choose the matchups? So for example, in college tennis, they have 1 through 6, and you're supposed to have the best player playing at number 1.
Yeah.
The second best player playing at number 2. Third best player
Do
playing
they
at
always
number 3.
do? Is that not always the case?
And it needs to be within reason. So as long as they're fairly close,
Yeah.
they can play one spot ahead, one spot below, or something like that. But you can't have the number 1 playing number 6.
Uh-huh.
Do you think MLP should have maybe the highest duper as a team playing number 1 always, or do you like the variety that they can switch it up?
I like the variety, but I do think that, you know how they're saying that you have to set your lineup the day before?
Yeah.
Or, your top 4. Mm-hmm. Maybe when you set that, you have to set who your number 1 mixed team and number 2 mixed team is as well.
Uh-huh.
And just to make sure those 2 teams get matched up.
Yeah.
But that also takes away a lot of the strategy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I like the strategy of it.
Okay. All right. So we're with Flash and Hogs. We're in the mixed doubles. Who do you have winning this?
Yeah, so I think the Flash win 3-1.
Okay. What other ones do you want to look at?
So I think let's fast forward a little bit, because I think the 5s are going to beat Atlanta. Brooklyn's going to beat Miami. The 5s are going to beat Phoenix. The Mad Drops are going to beat Miami. The Squeeze in Brooklyn is going to be a decent matchup. Mm-hmm. But I want to fast forward to Sunday.
Okay.
Because Sunday, Tyler, they made a bunch of changes. They decided that they were going to flip some matchups around. So the Mad Drops originally were only playing Sunday. Mm-hmm. Now they have to come in early. And 9 a.m. Mountain Time, so 11 a.m. Eastern in Orlando, very first match of the day. We have the St. Louis Shock, Hayden Patriquin, Anna Bright, Gabe Tardio, Kate Fahey, heavy favorites last year, who ended up finishing 3rd, actually, take on the newly named Brooklyn Pickleball team, AB versus Rachel. She dropped her. The girlies are no more. And now they got to face off in MLP.
Anna Bright had her move out to Florida, say, I'm going to train with you, and then boom.
Now we see Rachel kicking it with Paris, not kicking it with AB. Are they not friends anymore? I don't know. I'm not starting that rumor, but I'm just saying.
Do you have something else to announce?
I'm just saying Rachel's spending a lot of time with Paris and not a lot of time with AB. So
my question on that is, even though they're not playing together, I still feel like you can be friends. Or
I'm sure they're still friends. You can't have the girlies. The girlies are dead.
Why?
Because the girlies was a partnership. It was a brand. It was them together as partners.
Like, even when I'm friends with Connor Garnett, and when we're not playing together, we still talk to each other at tournaments.
And I'm sure they're still friends, and I'm sure they do.
That's not what you were alluding to.
No, but do you think that they can? Do you and Connor Garnett have a sweatshirt brand?
Maybe we do.
Like, can Connor Garnett have TUI Nation hats, but only have a one-handed backhand? Because that's what we're asking.
That's the worst.
No, it's not. Because that's what we're alluding to right now.
Terrible analogy.
That's what we're alluding to.
Terrible analogy.
Connor's like, TUI Nation! Looking like Travis Rettenmeyer out there.
He actually has been trying to do a one-y flick.
He has.
And sometimes it works, and other times it's not the prettiest.
Like a J-dub?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody wishes they had the J-dub flick. The flick wizard.
Okay.
All right, so Shock versus Brooklyn. I mean, we're going to have fireworks.
Are they flying in on their private jet?
I think you can always...
Or is it broken down still?
I think the jet is always available if you can get to Chicago. The thing is I think every member of the Shock, except for Kate, lives in Florida. Uh-huh. Kate's in, North Carolina now?
I don't know. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because she's been training with Brooke Buckner. All All right, Hayden and Gabe taking on Riley and Deckel.
I would say shock.
I would too.
But I wouldn't be shocked if
good one.
If Brooklyn won.
Chirp Fest?
I would think so. But in these games to 11, oh my gosh, those are going to be quick.
Yeah, they are. Like you may not even get warmed up. All right, Rachel and Jackie against AB and Kate. Does Rachel get a little bit of revenge here? Does Rachel come out firing?
I mean, I think she'd want to, but I don't see it happening.
You don't think she's good enough
to
beat AB and Kate?
Well, AB and Kate are tough.
I agree. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, can Rachel elevate?
I would have shock winning this 3-1, maybe 4-0.
If you're Jackie, and we're going to talk about this later with Jade too, because she gets to be right in the firefight too. But if you're Jackie, do you feel, or even Kate, do you feel kind of like you're in the middle, stuck in the middle here,
just dodging bullets?
Yeah, but do you feel like you don't want to let Rachel down, and then Kate doesn't really want to let AB down? Like, do you feel some pressure?
I doubt it. Maybe in the moment when it actually happens, there might be some pressure, but I doubt leading up to it. I doubt there would be.
Will they paddle? Will Rachel and AB paddle tap?
They'll hug.
You think so?
No, they'll paddle top.
But do you think there'll be anything else?
No.
I don't know. I don't know their relationship. It's all speculation.
You like to speculate.
They could still be besties for all I know. Okay, first mixed match. AB and Hayden against Deckel and Rachel. Because we're going to get...
I actually would maybe take Deckel and Rachel in that one.
Okay.
When Deckel gets hot with his serve and his drives, he is very intimidating. He's very aggressive.
And one game to 11.
One game to 11 can roll.
Yeah. Okay. Riley and Jackie against Kate and Gabe. So Kate and Gabe did not have a good record last year.
They didn't, but they were most of the time winning 3-0 when they went out.
It's true, but I think they were something like 6-18 or something crazy.
Man, I don't know. I still have the shock winning 3-1 somehow, but I wouldn't be surprised if Riley wins out mixed.
And then it goes to Dreambreaker?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be a 3-1, so my math is not mathing.
Yes, but you say 3-1 shock.
Yeah.
Okay.
3-1 or 3-2.
Who's a better Dreambreaker team if it did go?
You would think.
The shock, right?
Yeah, the shock. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That'll be interesting. That'll be fun. So then we fast forward to the Mad Drops against the Fives.
I thought they were playing the first match. Annalie and Catherine is the last match.
Annalie and Catherine. No. There's more matches. Yeah, but yes, the last match. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So then we go Annalie and Catherine playing each other.
Fun.
Fun for the whole family.
Yep.
Wait, this is wrong.
Yeah. So we've been going off of a bad schedule. MLP, get it together. We've been going off the Major League website schedule, and they have not updated that. So we apologize. We are going to get roasted as we talk about this because...
The matchup is still happening. It's just the times are different.
Yeah.
And there's another, because also the Fives play the Shock on Sunday too.
Yeah.
And that's not posted here. That's kind of embarrassing for MLP, to be honest with you.
Wait, shoot. So I was looking at a different schedule then. Maybe we don't... Oh my gosh.
Here, I have.
It's fine. Let's just continue with where we're at because they're the same matchups. It's just the date is different.
Whoa. Somebody already bought Stack using our code.
Power of KOTC.
The power of KOTC. All right, here we go. Fives take on the Mad Drops. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, Catherine versus Annalie. Mm-hmm. Again, does Catherine have the ability to, kind of prove that AL made a mistake?
I think she's really going to want to win, like more so than ever, but I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be interesting what happens. So just a heads up, Brooklyn and the Shock are the first matchup on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Then the Fives and the Mad Drops. And then the Squeeze and the Mad Drops. And then the Shock and the Fives.
Who does Utah play? Do we play Miami first?
Utah plays on Sunday?
No, our first match on Friday.
Oh, your first match on Friday, Utah and Miami. Yep.
Okay, so they didn't change us.
Yep. You guys play Miami. You guys play.
There wasn't any drama between the players, so they didn't need to.
Yeah, they didn't change you guys. You guys play 3 times.
Yes. Oh, 3? I thought it was 4.
Let's see.
I thought we played 2 times one of the days.
Right now, you only play. Nope. You play Friday against Miami.
Okay.
And then you play Saturday against the Squeeze. And then you play Sunday
Sliders?
Against the Sliders. Yep,
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
So, yeah, I mean, does Catherine have the firepower?
Wait, who are the men on Mad Drops?
Mad Drops men are Hunter Johnson
Okay.
and Kwong, QD.
Okay. I take fives in that matchup.
You like the 5s men?
Yeah.
But do you think QD and Hunter versus Will?
I think there's going to be a lot of speed ups in that matchup.
A lot of speed up. I mean, it's going to be like you want to talk 1 to 11. That game's going to be over quick.
Yeah.
And then do you like Jade and Catherine, or do you like Megan and AL?
Oh man, it's as you say, it's hard to go against Annalie, but I don't mind Catherine in that matchup actually.
Yeah,
Kawamoto is good.
I mean, I think they'll be solid. One thing I know,
you still have to give the edge to 5s.
Of course. One thing I will say about Jade, like Jade does not get rattled. I don't feel like Jade gets like. She doesn't have like these wide range of emotions where she's too high or too low. She stays very even keel. And so something like that, a matchup like that on center court, that's got like super like intensity. She's going to be the same.
Yeah.
So I think that will bode well. Also, Jade and Hunter were very good mixed team last year.
Yeah.
They had one of the better mixed records. So I assume they'll stay together and they won't move. Or will Jade play with QD? She did play with QD earlier this year in a tournament. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do there.
Gotcha.
But I would say the 5s have the advantage in that. And I would guess that the 5s pull that out.
Okay. How many fights are we seeing? Any fighting?
I think that honestly, it's going to be all this build up and then it's going to end up being like whatever. But the one matchup that has the most potential is the very last matchup of the whole weekend. They're doing Saturday night and Sunday night pickleball, by the way. And the teams actually are wearing different alternate jerseys for this.
Okay.
And they're going to play under the lights. Granted, these matches start at 4:15, so 1 game to 11. There's no reason they're not really going to play under the lights. Because if you start Sunday night pickleball at 4:15 p.m., what time does it get dark, Tyler?
Florida, I think it gets dark earlier.
Does it get dark before 6 p.m.?
It might get dark right around there.
Because I don't think we're going to be playing under the lights. Shock versus the 5s. This one, you have Will, Howes, and Zane versus Hayden and Gabe. Hayden and Will are roommates, by the way, but that does not mean that they will not go after each other.
Okay.
You have AL versus AB, the new partnership.
I'd have Shock.
Winning this?
Yeah.
I think that one goes Dreambreaker.
That's what everyone wants to see for sure.
Yeah. And I think we have chirping. I think we have intensity. It should be fun. I'm excited.
So this is just the season. And so this just determines, so depending on your wins, losses after this tournament will just determine your ranking, right? And then does that play a factor into the next one?
No, so all this is just your record. It's just like a regular sporting event where you win.
But they also have a mid-season tournament, though, right?
They do, and that's just completely separate.
But that will go off of the rankings.
Yes, the mid-season tournament will go off of your rankings and how they seed you for the mid-season tournament.
And then the end of the year tournament, everyone goes except for the last 4 teams.
So yeah, the playoffs believe will be 8 of the 12 make the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't there 16 now?
Oh yeah, because there's only 8. So yeah, I think it's
12 of the 16 go.
I think it's only 8 because the playoffs are only one are San Diego and
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you're looking out for? So Jimmy will not be there in person because his incredible California Black Bears are not playing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit bummed because, they said that they were going to have everybody play in this first one and it was going to be this big thing. And it still will be. And it'll still be exciting. But Challenger won't be there. Mm-hmm. Challenger won't even be at the next one. Mm-hmm. Challenger doesn't start till Austin.
Tells you how MLP really feels about you guys.
I mean, we're definitely the bastard child of MLP.
Yeah.
I do think that it's probably not a good look that
If only you guys would have paid a little bit more money. You could have.
I mean, I don't think
a little bit more money.
It's probably not a good look that 5 of the 6 challenger teams would beat the bottom 4 premier teams. The only team that probably wouldn't is the Chefs, but the other 5 teams would smack the crap out of most of these.
That's what you were saying last year, and I don't think it really worked.
Yeah, we would be fine this year. I mean, I think that, looking at, there is a 0% chance that the Hustlers would beat the Black Bears. The Hard Eights, absolutely not.
You say that, but
yeah. So, anyways,
I think Corey can out GM you.
Corey is busy. Okay, he's busy with his slick back hair doing videos with Ryan Serhant. By the way, I'm a huge Ryan Serhant guy. Like, I'm a big fan.
I used to be a really big fan of him, but he's a little bit over the top.
He is over the top, but I asked Corey to introduce me. Hasn't even done that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you can't FaceTime me?
Corey's office is in the same building as Serhant.
I don't.
And he says he runs away whenever the camera gets there.
They've been filming commercials together recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't FaceTime me?
Yeah.
Anyways, you think you're friends with somebody. So, yeah, it's exciting. I think it'll be fun. I love MLP. There's also a big Pro-Am exhibition. There's 4 members of the former members of the Orlando Magic.
Okay, who are they?
Do you remember Rashard Lewis? 6'10", shoots the 3.
Yeah.
Actually played for the Sonics for a while.
Okay.
Etwan Moore will be there.
Okay.
Remember Etwan Moore?
I don't.
Another power forward. They're going all power forwards.
Yeah.
Brandon Bass, a little bit of an undersized power forward, big guy.
Don't know him.
Lots of rebounds. And I actually don't know who the 4th player is, but I wonder if he's also a power forward. Should we look? Let's see. I don't know if those are I wish they would go get Penny Hardaway, right? Oh, let's see. Oh, Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross is more of a small forward.
Okay.
Played for the Raptors for a while. Can jump out of the gym. So they will be playing. It'll benefit the Orlando Magic Youth Foundation, which is pretty cool. And they will take on the Squeeze.
Cool.
So, yeah.
When is that?
That is on Thursday night at 6 p.m. So I hope you're there for that, Tyler. You should go watch.
Okay. Also, in the upcoming weeks, KOTC should be having a conversation with the director of the Dreambreaker documentary.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions or any topics you want us to discuss with this person, please let us know down below and we'll try to get those. It's a great documentary. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on Max and also True TV.
Yeah, True TV and Max. Yep. Her name's Ashley. She's actually the wife of Larry David, if you're a Curb Your Enthusiasm fan.
Okay.
She's done some work with Sacha Baron Cohen, who Borat.
Okay.
Very funny. And
nice.
Yes. Very, very nice. And you see some of her satire in this documentary. So yeah, it should be awesome to kind of sit down with her and talk about that.
Okay. Also, give us a big shout out to Holey Performance. We didn't talk about them too much, but we KOTC have an exclusive. It's really cool, an exclusive flavor with Holey Performance. Yeah. And it's called. What's the flavor called?
White gummy, and it's got a crown like
white
this.
Gummy, and it tastes phenomenal.
Yes.
And it has. Still boggles my mind to this day, but has 0 sugar.
0 sugar. It's got all the electrolytes you need. Rapid rehydration. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid in Orlando.
Literally, now is the time to.
Tyler's going to be hitting that white gummy in between matches.
Yep.
MLP. Those 3 big matches you play.
Got to be ready.
You're going to fly to Orlando to play 6 total games.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
It's fine. I don't mind it. I kind of I like the progressive draws where. I go back and forth because you have a lot of time to focus and dedicate on one match.
Yeah.
But when that match is done or it's over, you're like, okay, I have a lot of free time now.
Yeah. So go check them out, holeyperformance.com. Use code KOTC.
They have a bunch of other flavors too. They have
the
pre,
orange.
post matchups.
The orange. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Incredible.
You all right? You just looked like you were going through something there.
Literally, that orange flavor is like...
That was
melts in my mouth.
Really over the top.
No, it's that good. It's that good, I promise.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Like you didn't grow up poor like I did, so it's nostalgic for me.
Oh, I had that Tang.
Yeah, it's very much like Tang. We didn't have real Tang growing up. We didn't even have real Kool-Aid. We had Flavor Aid because that's what poor people had.
You know what I've been doing?
Government cheese? What?
Going to Costco, getting the Cara oranges and squeezing them myself with a...
Yeah, see, you didn't grow up poor. Thank you for telling me that.
Huh?
See?
No, I'm
You
squeezing
make your
them.
own fresh squeezed orange juice.
Yeah. Rich people would buy it in a bottle.
Listen, poor people, that's what poor people do. They squeeze their own. But
That's what I'm doing.
But we would steal the oranges off the neighbor's tree because we wouldn't have our own. We'd reach over the fence.
Oh, my gosh.
That's
if
how
I
it
reached
worked.
over the fence, the dog would bite my hand. That's how
Yeah,
poor I was
we
growing
couldn't
up.
afford a dog.
No, my neighbors, they had like a pit bull, a Rottweiler.
Yeah, see? Not us. Probably didn't even have a fence, to be honest.
Okay, go check them out. They're awesome. They've been supporting our show. HoleyPerformance.com. Use code KOTC. It saves you quite a bit. Jimmy, anything else? Any jokes for us or any drama rumors going on?
No.
You're quiet ever since the Rachel rumor. You really...
There's no rumor there. Hey, I was just thinking something, though. Terrence Ross, who's going to be in this, I bet these guys are... I kind of wonder... So, like, you posted a video of Connor Garnett trying to make a layup.
Oh, it was... Well, he made the layup, but
he did, but it's
pretty.
bad. And it's like
It's bad.
he's not doing anything to help, like, the argument that pickleball players are athletes.
Well, they should have filmed me. I should have filmed myself.
But on the flip side, if you turn it around, like I'm thinking about these NBA guys, okay?
Yeah.
They're all big. They're all 6'9", 6'10". Terrence Ross is like 6'7". Terrence Ross won the slam dunk championship when he first got into the league from Washington. So this is a dude that has freaky athleticism. And I'm curious to watch him with a pickleball paddle because you see like Terrell Owens. He's awful. The dude looks, he's uncoordinated.
Yeah.
He's goofy as hell when he plays.
Yeah.
One of NFL Hall of Fame receiver, and he just looks horrendous. And it's just crazy how,
you remember Anna Bright when she airballed the free throw?
airballed it. Yeah. But did you read the ESPN article about Major League Baseball players playing pickleball?
I saw the headline, but I did not read it.
They actually will set up a temp net on turf.
I actually think a lot of pickleball players, not at the pro level, but at the amateur level, they do come from baseball. There's a lot of crossover with the hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, there's a lot of like former pro baseball players, Brad Penny, JD Martinez just signed a deal with Yola that are playing pickleball. But what's interesting is reading that article, they would actually start like gambling. They would start gambling and there would be like big matchups and like,
gambling on themselves. Yeah.
And they would be like, hey, this guy's favored by, we actually gave him a 5-point head start basically.
When I'm retired, that's what I'm going to. It's just dressing up, acting as if I've never played, and maybe I can make a little bit of money.
Be like Uncle Drew.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Pick 'em.
Have you ever seen Uncle Drew?
Pick 'em.
You don't even know what that is.
That's all I'm saying now. Pick 'em.
Who's Uncle Drew?
Adam Sandler, isn't it?
Oh, Kyrie Irving. He dressed up like an old man, went to the park.
Doesn't Adam Sandler do it?
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Adam Sandler just goes to the park and plays.
Adam Sandler is great.
And like shorts down to his ankles.
He's a baller.
Hustle's a great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it.
That is, yeah. I like that one. Yeah.
All right.
If you made it this far, please do us a big favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. We will see you guys next time.
Hey, Stack Athletics Spring Line. Check it out.
Spring, summer, SS.
25.